Hello, everyone. Welcome back to The Last Lap. My name is Jimmy, and today we are going to be recapping everything that happened from Watkins Glen this past weekend. The first of two road courses in a row for the Cup Series and for the Xfinity Series as well. But we also had the Truck Series this weekend, so we had a triple header at Watkins Glen. We're going to talk about everything you need to know about the race. But before we hop into it, I just want to remind you guys to hit that subscribe button. It really does go a long way, helps the channel grow. That like button would also be appreciated. And you can also check us out on Instagram at The Last Lap News. We try to post some stuff throughout the week as well in between our YouTube videos on here. As always, I have my friend and co-host Matthew on the show. And how are you feeling about Watkins Glen? And then we're going to head to another road course next week. So how are you feeling about the race today?
I feel like it was a pretty decent race today. Always love being there. Watkins Glen's always one of everybody's favorite tracks. Apparently, it seems like everybody loves Watkins Glen. But I should be asking you: are you doing okay today? You're doing all right, right?
No, I'm not doing. I'm a little bit frustrated based off of how today went. I'm not throwing a fit, but I'm a little bit frustrated to say the least. But we'll get into that a little bit later into the video. I don't know why I'm still wearing my Chase Elliott championship shirt, but it's getting me hype for next weekend. I'm going to Indy. Maybe he can pull it back and regain some strength and maybe pull off a win next week. I don't know, but yeah, we'll get into that in a little bit. But we're going to talk about the truck race first. All three races were really good, to be fair. I thought all three races were great. The racing was pretty good. But we're going to start off with the truck race really quick. That was on Saturday afternoon, early afternoon. Austin Hill ended up getting the win for that. And unfortunately, they had to call the race a little bit early due to lightning. There was apparently a lightning strike or a few lightning strikes within a few miles of the racetrack. So they had to bring the trucks down pit road, covered them up. I don't think it ever actually rained, but NASCAR decided to call the race because they had to get the Xfinity race in later that day as well. So unfortunately, they called it short. Austin Hill was your winner. Parker Kligerman finished in the top 5, so that was great for him. I know he had a deal with his sponsor where he finished in the top 5. They sold t-shirts for like $1 on their website or something like that. So that was really cool to see him get a top 5 finish. I wish they would have been able to finish the race, but great to see Austin Hill get the win, but you kind of have to play the weather at NASCAR. Another weather controversy call, kind of. I don't think that was such a big controversial call, but NASCAR had to make another weather decision. Would you look at that? That's at least a few for 2021 that they've had to make. So not much else to say about that, but also the Xfinity Series, that race was later in the day, and it was Ty Gibbs, Austin Cindric, and AJ Allmendinger, the three best drivers in the field, battling up front pretty much most of the day, pretty much all day long. Very great to see all of them racing side by side. Coming to the end of stage 2, AJ Allmendinger and Ty Gibbs were side by side coming to the line. Allmendinger beat him by a nose. It was really great racing between those three all day. There was a caution with 6 to go, and then there was a restart, and then there was another caution after that. And Ty Gibbs gave up the lead both times on both of those restarts. He picked the top lane on the first one, I believe, and lost the lead, and then he picked the bottom lane and lost the lead again. But after each restart, he would be able to chase down the leader, take the lead, and he would go on to win his third Xfinity race of the season. So Ty Gibbs taking it to the two best road course racers in the series. After in Daytona road course, when they took each other out, Austin Cindric and AJ Allmendinger, Ty Gibbs beats him straight up, beats both of them, dominates the race, and ends up getting the win. So, Matthew, what do you have to say about the Truck and Xfinity race? I know you're gonna give a lot of props to Ty Gibbs here, but what do you have to say about both races?
Well, the truck race was pretty decent, and it was a little. I hated that they had to, end that race early because there was another race, the Xfinity race after that. That's the one thing I don't like about this whole double header here on one day, just trying to squeeze two races in together. It's because, if there's a rain situation the first race, they I mean, they had plenty. If there wasn't for that race, they would have finished it. But due to there's an Xfinity race after that, they couldn't. So I'm a little ashamed they didn't finish it. But I mean, it was a great win for Austin Hill. The playoffs is all set, and both KBM drivers are in it, which is great to see. But I'm pretty sure unless they don't, unless John or Nemechek doesn't start choking like Kevin Harvick did last year, then I think he's gonna be automatic lock for the championship. And as for the Xfinity Series, man, I didn't see much of that race because I was out that night. But man, Ty Gibbs, it's him, man. It's him. I mean, he is the future right here. I mean, he's only 18 years old. He's doing this. He's doing part time at Xfinity, and he's already won like 3 races in like his 10 starts. He's only had 2 races he finished outside the top 10. I mean, it is crazy how crazy talented this kid is. I mean, I've said so many times how talented he is, and I mean, it's pretty much for sure he's going to be a full-time Xfinity right next year. I know they haven't announced anything, but I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. And when they do, I believe he will be automatic championship favorite next year. So he's got a bright future ahead. I just hope Joe Gibbs Racing doesn't rush him, so that when he gets to the Cup Series, he'll be like an instant star, basically. So Ty Gibbs, I mean, he's got a lot to improve on, but so far he's just crazy talented. So yeah, it was a great finish too with him and AJ Allmendinger.
Yeah, I love Ty Gibbs. It's hard not to hate the guy. He's a young kid, but at the same time, he acts like a grown man. He's very humble and mature with his interviews and how he races on the track. He used the bumper a few small times, but he didn't really try to use the bumper as much as he probably could or should have throughout the race there, especially in those closing laps. After being passed by AJ Allmendinger, he could have easily tried to ruffle him up and move him out of the way, but he handled it like a very mature NASCAR driver would and passed him nice and clean. But yeah, I love Ty Gibbs. He's definitely going to be one of my favorite NASCAR drivers in the future. Obviously, nobody's going to top Chase Elliott, but he'll be, top 3 probably NASCAR drivers, and he'll definitely be my favorite.
Whoa, come on.
He'll
man.
definitely be my favorite in the Xfinity Series next year. I don't want to jump ahead too far, but if he does get to Cup, he'll be up there.
Don't jump ahead way too far.
He'll be up there in my Cup list eventually, but as for the Xfinity Series or Truck Series, wherever he ends up next year, he will definitely be in my top list for those 2 series whatever he does next year. But yeah, I love Ty Gibbs. He's a great kid, very humble guy. Always talks about God and everything too in his interviews and everything, so it's really great to see a positive young Christian young man represent the sport of NASCAR. But great for him. He definitely has a bright future ahead. Can't wait to see the rest of the races he runs this season and what the future holds for him next season. So now we're going to hop into the Cup Series race that was today. And once again, Chase Elliott to the rear. What's new? Like every road course race, it seems like this man goes to the rear of the field. This time it is for something in the rear window. Him and Christopher Bell both went to the rear of the field, but turns out that didn't mean too much for them. I mean, I honestly wasn't too worried about it. I was more worried about the suspension of Alan Gustafson. I feel like that could have been possibly a small impact of what happened in today's race. I'm not 100% sure, but anyways, the race got going green. The Penske car started 1, 2, 3, but they pretty much faded after the first stage. In stage 2, Chase Elliott unfortunately had to pit because he flat spotted his tires. I believe he pitted on lap 30, and that could have been that call. Well, could have. That was the call that cost him the race because he pitted under the green flag, got him off cycle with everybody else. He had to make 2 more pit stops, whereas everybody else had to make 1 after that incident. And I don't know if he could have tried to make it last a little bit longer or if he needed to pit like right away, because I feel like that definitely cost him this race. He didn't lose a lap, but he was in like 36th place when he came off pit road, and he was off sequence with everybody and all of that. But anyways, so that happened, and then there was Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell made contact on lap 55. Kyle Larson dove into turn 1, locked up the tires. Christopher Bell also didn't give him the most room. He gave him some room. I think it was just a racing incident, honestly. I think there's a tiny bit of fault on both drivers there, but they made contact. Christopher Bell unfortunately spun around, and that pretty much ended his day. Not much damage, but he just lost all of his track position, unfortunately. And right after that, so Brad Keselowski had brake issues all day, apparently. And he locked up the brakes and lost the car going into turn 1 and took out Joey Logano. And sorry to all the Team Penske car fans out there, but that honestly made my day. Like, I was laughing so hard when that happened. Sorry to all the Team Penske fans, but that was just so funny to watch. And yeah, that was just funny. I loved to see that. But anyways, moving on, there were green flag pit stops in stage 3. Kyle Larson and Martin Truex were pretty much the two dominant drivers of the field throughout the race. Both of them led for most of the race, and then Kyle Larson overtook Martin Truex after those green flag pit stops and started to slowly check out over him, but Chase Elliott was coming. He was making a charge through the field. He was, oh my goodness, I don't even know where he was. He was 11th or 10th at some point during or after those green flag pit stops and just marched his way through the field. He was picking them off one by one by one. He passed Kyle Busch for 3rd, checked out way far past him, caught Martin Truex. Truex gave him a little bit of a hard time trying to pass. I believe he passed Truex with 10 or 9, 8 to go, somewhere in that range. Finally got by Martin Truex, and by the time he got by Truex, he was about 5 seconds behind Kyle Larson with about 6 or 7 laps to go. So by then, it was pretty much done for Chase Elliott. He made up a bunch of ground. Kyle Larson caught some lap traffic late, made things a little bit interesting there. But unfortunately, Chase was not able to get there. That pit stop for the flat spotted tires definitely cost him a chance at this race. He rebounded well, just didn't quite have enough to get Kyle Larson there. Kyle Larson would go on to win. And if I was correct, off of hearing the broadcast, I believe him and Denny Hamlin are tied for the regular season championship right now. So that's a story to watch as the season goes on in these final 3 regular season races. And Tyler Reddick was able to increase his points lead over his teammate Austin Dillon for that 16th and final playoff spot. So a bunch of headlines after this race. Matthew, what do you have to say about it?
Well, it was a pretty good race from what I saw. It was a terrible day for Team Penske, as all 3 of their cars seemed to always have issues today. And also including their IndyCar race in Nashville today, they were having issues as well. So not a good day for Team Penske. Yeah, it was looking to be a Kyle Larson, Martin Truex Jr. type day, it seemed like, because of Chase Elliott being in the back most of the time until the final stage. But him, Martin Truex Jr., Christopher Bell were going at it during that final stage, and I mean, when I first saw Larson spin Bell, I thought, man, he just turned into Bell, because of course they showed a weird camera angle. You can't really tell, but I mean, I guess it's kind of on Bell, because Kyle Larson did have his nose in there, so I'll give most of that blame to Bell. As for Chase Elliott, yeah, he was rolling in there, like, yeah, he was fast, but he was really using up all his stuff. He was giving everything he's got. I feel like Larson was kind of holding it back a little bit. I mean, he wasn't trying to be over aggressive. Like you noticed when he was getting to that line of traffic, he was really being patient with that. So, I mean, kudos to Larson for taking his time getting through that line of traffic, because that's always not a good thing in the closing laps. Especially when most of the time it's always regular racing cars in the way. But yeah, this is definitely an impressive win for Larson. I did not know he was tied with Ham. I mean, I don't get how Ham was in the points league, regular points league. I mean, he hasn't even won a race, and there's Larson with 5 wins. That never makes sense to me, but that's just the way it is. And Yeah, it was a really great race from what I can watch. I always love watching these Watkins Glen races, and we're going to head to another road course next week, so it's definitely going to be interesting. With I feel like it's going to be an Elliott and LARSON duel with these road courses the rest of the year.
Yeah, I'm not really. So Martin Truex Jr. is kind of hit or miss on some of these road courses for this season. It's a little bit weird. He's was really good at Watkins Glen, so that's why I picked him as my main pick. I thought he would be really good, and he was. Whereas Sonoma, he's also really good there, and I don't really remember him being up at the front of the field that much at Sonoma. So I don't know what it is with Martin Truex. Just a little hot and cold maybe with him. I expected him to be up front today, and he was. But yeah, Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, and him, all three of them were having a great battle in that third stage. The racing was really good. Nobody really got out to a huge lead either. Everything was pretty close. In the third stage, once Kyle Larson got past Martin Truex Jr. on pit road, he kind of stretched out his lead a little bit. But before that, it was pretty tight racing up at the front of the field pretty much all day. And then throughout the pack, they were pretty tight racing as well. So great racing today. I am not complaining. Let's go ahead and rate the race. So for me, I think I'll give it I'll give it an 8 out of 10. It was really solid, great racing, like I just said. Those three cars at the front of the field made it great, really good battles on the racetrack, and the drama with Chase Elliott coming through the field, trying to get to the front of the field. When they showed he was 10 seconds back, I was like, "There's no way." But like, I feel like they kind of hyped me up a little bit. They got me a little too excited because I was like, "Yeah, you could do it. Come on, you can get through the field. You can make up a 10-second lead in 20 laps and all this stuff." And I was like, I think they got me hyped up a little too much. So I think I got my expectations a little bit too high there. But he did have a good car. But yeah, I feel like they made that drama a little bit, and that's what made it exciting going down the stretch. So 8 out of 10 for me. And what are you gonna give it?
Yeah, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. It was definitely a great racing, especially the final stage with the battle for the lead with Larson and Bell and Truex. That was going on for so many laps. Even the beginning of the race with Brad Keselowski and Joe Logano going at it. Next thing you know, Keselowski spins out in the lead. I feel like they were really overhyping the whole Elliott trying to get to Larson part. I mean, I knew it was gonna be a tough task, to be honest, because I know on road courses, long distance doesn't mean a lot because how long that track, how long these road courses are. But I mean, yeah, he was closing in, but I feel like they were really overhyping that. I mean, it was going to take I feel like it was going to take a caution or absolute miracle for Elliott to get to Larson there. But other than that, it was a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, they kind of have to just because Chase Elliott is really good at the road courses, and they're like, oh, what if he can do this and blah blah blah. But like, we were texting back and forth throughout the race, and I was like, I really don't think he could do this. I thought he could get to Truex and pass Truex possibly, but after that I was like, there's no way that Truex is gonna hold him up a little bit, and he did. Truex held him up for probably a lap or two, and then once he got past Truex, he pretty much used most of his stuff up by then, and Larson probably saved just a little bit. But yeah, it was a great race either way. I'm a little bit upset. Chase, if he didn't have that mistake where he flat spouted the tires, he probably would have been more in contention for this race. And Kyle Busch, your guy, got a top 5, I'm pretty sure, for the day, right? He got a top 5. He was pretty quiet throughout the day, but solid run for him too, right?
Yep. It was probably the most quiet Kyle Busch day ever, it seemed like. Like, he was up there, but he didn't really do anything much besides that. So, but it was still a good day.
Alright, so for our fantasy points, you got 2 more points after picking Kyle Larson, our truck and Xfinity pick. None of those guys ended up winning, but you got 2 points, so now the total is 30 for you and 17 for me. So not really much progress for me. I'm starting to fade once again. Hopefully this weekend at Indy Road Course I could get maybe a few points back. I don't know. Austin Cindric's going to be in the Cup field, I'm pretty sure, and possibly AJ Allmendinger as well. So that'll be interesting to see if both of them pull the double duty next weekend, and that'll definitely shake things up for our picks. But other than that, do you have anything else to add before we wrap the episode up?
Well, I guess you're upset today, but keep in mind, the last two races I've been upset after these things, so it was nice to have someone else take the turn of having a rant day today. But by the way, if you heard any noise during this video, that was my mom. So just to let you know that, guys, if you hear noise during this video, so sorry about that.
Shout out, mom. Last video I had my dog in the beginning of the video. My dog Elliott jumped off the bed and came like right here next to me. So sorry that we have to record this in our homes, but that's the best we could do right now. But we love doing it for you guys. That's why we do it. No matter where we are, we try our best to record these videos and post them for you guys and all that fun stuff. So that's gonna wrap it up for this episode. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Our other video will be out. Our preview video for Indy Road Course will be out later this week. I'll be going to that race. I probably won't be on my phone too much just because I'm meeting some people there and spending quality time with people up there as well. So I might get a little bit of some footage for you guys, but we'll see how that goes. But until then, we will see you guys in the next video.